Hello, my name is Jaana Markela-Lerenc. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist and schema therapist in Germany. In the course of the World Schema Therapy Day, I am talking you about affairs. How do we rebuild trust after an affair? And how schema therapy can help the couples to heal after infidelity. Sorry. Not just unhappy couples cheat. Only 20 to 40% of people report that they were unhappy in the relationship before the infidelity. These reasons, the studies show these reasons: emotional disconnection, sexual dissatisfaction, seeking for novelty, freedom, and variety, opportunity and temptation, low self-esteem, revenge, addiction or impulsivity, cultural beliefs. There are gender differences, and men report more physical motives, and women more emotional ones like connection. But this gender gap is fading. The definition of infidelity. When I am talking about the infidelity, I mean the breaking of an explicit or implicit agreement between partners about emotional and or physical connection. And second, the individuals keep this violation of this agreement a secret. How can we link affairs to schemas? Some people who have been cheated on show symptoms similar to post-traumatic stress disorder. They show symptoms like insomnia, flashbacks, and intrusive thoughts. In most cases, this reflects a schema activation, meaning that an old experience and an old feeling is being activated. Schemas are core patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving, and they develop early in life, usually because or as a result of unmet emotional core needs. The emotional core needs are, for example, attachment, autonomy, and self-esteem. In the following, I show you two examples of schemas, and these both schemas can be activated after infidelity. The first schema is defectiveness shame schema. A child who felt unloved might develop the schema, and this child thinks, I am unworthy of love, I am not okay to be loved. And the second schema is mistrust and abuse. This schema also can be activated after infidelity. This schema developed in the childhood, and this child had inconsistent and not reliable caregivers. One day the caregivers or the parents were loving, and the other day they were punishing or ignoring the child. These children think that people can't be trusted. Further, how can we link affairs to schemas? There is a correlation that the individuals whose basic emotional needs were not met in the childhood are more likely, but of course not destined, to engage in affairs. And this may manifest in different ways. Some individuals may seek approval, emotional connection, intimacy, or ego boost. Others may attempt to avoid closeness, reflecting an avoidant attachment style they experienced during the childhood. To summarize, affairs result from a complex combination of personality traits, schema or attachment history, and present relationship circumstances. Why does it hurt so deeply? There are three levels of wounds. Of course, the breach of loyalty is hurting. This exclusive relationship is no longer exclusive. The breach of trust, the breach of agreement is hurting. Sexual wounds, the individuals who were hurt, they normally compare themselves to the lover. And the third one, they are the social wounds. And the individuals who were hurt experience shame and embarrassment in front of others, neighbors, friends, or family. How can we rebuild trust after infidelity? The healing process requires from both partners self-reflection. The individuals need to reflect what needs were not met in our relationship. What was the old relationship pattern or dysfunctional pattern? And how did I contribute to that relationship dynamic? Not just blaming the other one, but really reflecting what was my part in this dysfunctional dynamic. Second, after this reflection, they have to communicate about these needs or unmet needs constructively. You can use connection dialogue skills to constructive communications. And these connection dialogue, there are two roles. There are the speaker role and there is the listener role. And then vice versa, when you are talking about feelings, you first start, the hurt person should start as a speaker, and the other one is just listening and repeating and trying to understand what the hurt partner says. And then another way around, or they change the roles, I mean. Third, being able to show true vulnerability. The individuals should allow oneself to feel all emotions. There are mixed emotions involved: grief, anger, guilt, anxiety, or shame, also sadness, of course. And showing true remorse is really important step in order to work infidelity and the wounds through. The last point is that the relationship is no longer the older relationship it used to be. The couple has to talk about new boundaries, new values, and expectations for the future. Couple schema therapy combines both couple and individual sessions. And it helps you to recognize your emotional wounds and helps you to find healthy ways to heal them. For instance, by learning how to work through powerful emotions like shame, loneliness, and anger. Schema therapy helps you to handle emotional triggers and understand how they are linked to your childhood experiences or to your past experiences. Schema therapy helps or can help you to stop dysfunctional patterns and develop healthier ways to address issues in your relationship. And last, the schema therapy provides corrective emotional experiences, validating and rescripting old memories. Conjoint imagery work, you can see the presentation to that topic from my colleague, Dennis Ginsburg. I would like to present you a case from my praxis. This couple, Emily and John, I call them Emily and John, they came to me to see me after John cheated on Emily and kept it secret 2 years. During the first 2 sessions, John was defensive and tried to justify himself. He also blamed her and the situation. This blocks the healing process and leaves her feeling angry or even more angry, helpless and sad, and causing her to withdraw. This self-justification pushes her even further away, and she really starts to question whether the relationship can work or the therapy can work. Now I play you John And now the first scene, John is being assertive and blaming and self-justifying.
I did not mean to cheat on you, and I did not plan it. The first time it happened, I was drunk, and she came on to me. I couldn't resist the temptation. We were at the conference, we had a hotel room, it was an easy opportunity. I didn't want to continue it. It was just a one-night stand for me. Then, at work, she used to visit me in my office, which was nice, since she was really interested in me, not dismissive like you are. When I was at home, you were either taking care of the children or your mother, and you left me all alone. The children are always your priority, and I feel like a third wheel. For you, I am, at the moment, only good enough to go shopping and do the dishes, but not to talk to you or spend time with. You can't blame me for what happened. It's not my fault, it's yours too. In the evenings, you were so distant. We have not had sex for a very long time. In the evenings, you either fell asleep when I wanted to talk to you or watch TV with you, or your mother or sister would come over, and then you would be happy to see them. After we moved in with your mother, she was there every day, and you only spent time with the kids or your family. You can't blame me. You abandoned me. Everyone would do these things if they were in my situation. You keep asking me why I didn't end the relationship and why I lied to you when you asked me what was wrong with me and why I was so distant. The truth is that it meant nothing to me. I never loved her. After I told her I wouldn't see her anymore, she was devastated, so I felt sorry and continued to meet with her. I tried to end the relationship a couple of times, but she always cried a lot. I again felt sorry for her and couldn't bear to see her cry. It was more about her than me.
After working through his feelings in 7 couple sessions and 4 individual sessions, he shows now in the next recording, he now shows genuine remorse and vulnerability. He now also understands how his schemas influence the relationship dynamics.
I felt unseen, unloved, and unheard, which made me feel sad and devastated. Everything changed after we had children and moved into a house with your mother. We used to talk and share things a lot, and we used to laugh together too. I really miss those times. We used to lie arm in arm in the evenings. But as the children came along, you worried about them and let them sleep in our bed or in our bedroom. I felt like I was no longer your spouse, but only your co-parenting partner. As you asked me what was going on with me, I found it hard to talk about my feelings because I've never learned to express negative emotions in my childhood. Now I know that I should have tried. I should have talked about my feelings. In the last couple of years, our relationship made me feel like I felt in my childhood with my parents. I was not important enough to be cared for. It was always about my older brother, and they didn't have the time or energy for me. My brother was always my parents' favorite son. He got all the attention and care, and my parents always had to take care of his problems. I was a good boy, always reasonable and nice, but not interesting. My mother often worried about my brother, and sometimes I had to comfort her after my father had had a quarrel with my brother. I learned to please everyone, avoid conflict, and be the easygoing child. I learned to adjust and settle disputes. I have a strong need for harmony like my mother, and never learned to say what I felt and needed. Nobody was interested in my feelings when I was little. I'm so sorry that I hurt you. I never meant to. It was wrong to lie to you, especially when you asked me directly about my feelings. I felt ashamed of my actions and was anxious that you would leave me if I told you the truth. I never wanted to jeopardize our relationship or hurt you so deeply. Therefore, I am utterly sorry. I want to stay in this relationship with you and work through this. I love you, and I always have. I hope you can someday trust me again and forgive me.
As you see, during the schema therapy, the individual patterns are identified and linked to the person's own life story. Feelings of shame, or to the schemas, feelings of shame and guilt are gradually reduced and worked through. As a result, the person is usually able to open up, allowing vulnerable emotions to emerge. And honest remorse evokes compassion in the hurt partner, which is a crucial step in the process of forgiveness. Moreover, gaining an understanding of one's childhood circumstances helps to foster compassion as well. In the following scene, the hurt partner reacts with empathy, yet also voices her worries about the future and what she needs in order to forgive and trust again.
It feels good to hear your sincere apology and your genuine remorse. I feel sorry for the little boy who didn't receive the attention, affection, and love he deserved and needed. Your parents didn't do well. They should have seen you and your needs just as much as they saw your brothers. You were important then, and you are important now. I can understand why it was difficult for you to talk about your feelings as I asked you. You learned that other people's needs and feelings were more important than your own, and therefore you avoid conflict. I want to work things out between us. I am also partly to blame. I can see that now. I shouldn't have ignored you. I should have spent more time with you, and I should have set clearer boundaries with my family. It's not okay for them to visit us every day without asking. I'm really sorry if I ever made you feel like you weren't important to me or that I didn't want to spend time with you. That was never the case. You mean a lot to me. However, I want to make clear that this is our last chance to work on our issues. If this happens again, there's no going back. I also need you to work on your conflict avoiding patterns in therapy. Otherwise, I can't help but feel anxious and afraid that something like this might happen again. You must learn to say no and to face conflicts. I need you to be on my side and to choose me, even though it might be hard for the pleasing part in you. As you know, in my childhood, I learned to take care of others and to ignore my own feelings and needs. My parents divorced when I was 6. And after that, my mom was always working. I had to take care of myself and my little sister, as my mom had to provide for us. In that situation, feelings were not really helpful, so I learned very well to put them aside. I sensed that something was wrong with you or with our relationship, but unfortunately, I had become very good at ignoring my feelings. This is my role in the dynamics that resulted in this situation. I want to work on these patterns. I want to learn to be in touch with my feelings and to express them openly.
Now, I like to summarize. Schema therapy can help a couple to work an affair through so that it will be an opportunity, or it can be an opportunity for personal growth and development. Schema therapy can help you understand your schemas and break old dysfunctional patterns and learn new and healthier ones and heal emotional wounds from childhood. The forgiveness, the authentic forgiveness, can only develop in response to genuine remorse and vulnerability. And forgiveness is also a process that takes time. After working through your emotions, forgiveness becomes a conscious decision that can support your own healing and help rebuild trust and connection again. Thank you very much for your attention and have a nice day.